It was a quiet evening during the preparations for Kanye West's upcoming tour, when an unexpected encounter unfolded a story so touching it would leave everyone speechless. The venue was vast and silent, a stark contrast to the electrifying energy it would host in just a few days. Rows of empty seats stretched endlessly, and the stage stood half-prepared, awaiting the magic of Kanye's team. He had arrived earlier than usual, craving a moment of solitude to reflect and rehearse before the chaos of the concert began. As he walked through the echoing space, his attention was caught by a soft melodic hum. It wasn't coming from his team or a sound check; those hadn't started yet. The voice, untrained but sincere, floated from the upper rows of the stands. The arena itself was breathtaking, even in its unfinished state. Its steel beams reached high into the air like skeletal fingers, holding up the massive roof that seemed to stretch on forever. The smell of fresh paint lingered in the air, mingling with the faint scent of polish from the recently cleaned floors. Despite its grandeur, the emptiness made it feel almost lonely, as if it were waiting patiently for the life and noise it was destined to hold. Intrigued, Kanye followed the sound up into the shadows of the higher seating. There he saw him, a custodian in his late 30s, dressed in a slightly worn navy blue uniform. He was busy wiping down the seats, his movements steady and focused, as if in rhythm with the song he was humming. Kanye stood quietly in the corner of the arena, listening as the custodian's voice floated through the air. It wasn't a polished performance; seat was raw and unpolished, but there was something deeply moving about it. The man seemed unaware of his surroundings, completely absorbed in the song as he worked his way down the rows of seats, humming and singing softly. Kanye noticed the weariness in his posture, the faint sag in his shoulders that spoke of long hours and hard days. His uniform was clean but frayed at the edges, and a small badge on his chest identified him as Marcus. Taking a step closer, Kanye's curiosity grew. Just as he was about to speak, the custodian paused mid-song. He glanced around as if sensing someone nearby, and froze when his eyes met Kanye's. "For a second, I thought I was alone," Marcus stammered, his voice barely above a whisper. Kanye offered a warm smile. "Hey, I hope I'm not interrupting." "No, I didn't think anyone was here yet," Marcus replied, fumbling for words and tightening his grip on the handle of the mop. Kanye took a seat on one of the chairs near him. "I couldn't help but hear you singing. That's one of my songs, isn't it?" Marcus nodded, his face flushing red. "Yeah, my son loves your music. I guess I hear it so much, it's stuck in my head. Hope that's okay." "It means a lot that my songs mean something to you and your family," Kanye replied gently. Marcus hesitated, then opened up a little more. "My son, he's been asking to come to one of your concerts, but times are tough." Kanye listened intently, his heart breaking a little at Marcus's words. He could see the love Marcus had for his family, the sacrifices he was making just to keep things afloat. Here he was, working long hours to clean a venue for a concert he likely couldn't afford to attend. He paused, glancing toward the stage. But when you see the price of tickets or the cost of lessons, sometimes it feels like no matter how hard you work, some doors just stay closed. Jared dreams big, but I don't know if I can give him the opportunities he deserves. Kanye leaned forward, encouraging Marcus to continue. "Tell me about Jared," he said softly. "Jared's 14. He's got this incredible passion for music. Every day after school, he practices guitar in our tiny apartment. Sometimes I catch him writing lyrics late at night under his desk lamp. It breaks my heart because I know how much he wants to follow in your footsteps, but we're struggling to make ends meet. School supplies, rent, groceries, it all adds up. And now, with college looming ahead, I don't even know where we'll find the money." Kanye nodded sympathetically. "You must be so proud of him." "I am," Marcus said, his voice thick with emotion. "More than anything, but I hate feeling like I'm letting him down. He deserves better, you know, better than what I can offer right now." Leaning forward, Kanye asked, "What's your son's name?" "Jared," Marcus replied, a faint smile touching his lips. "He's 14. Loves music, says he wants to be like you someday." Kanye's heart warmed. "He sounds incredible. You must be so proud of him." Marcus nodded, but the weight of his struggles was evident. I just wish I could give him more, you know. I work as many shifts as I can, but some things are just out of reach. He gestured toward the stage, emphasizing the unbridgeable gap between their worlds. Kanye sat silently for a moment, reflecting on Marcus's words. Memories flooded back his own childhood, growing up in Chicago, dreaming of becoming a musician despite the odds stacked against him. He remembered the nights spent scribbling rhymes in notebooks, the countless rejections, and the people who told him he'd never make it. Yet, through it all, he held on to hope, fueled by the unwavering support of his mother. Looking at Marcus now, he saw himself in the man's weary eyes. "You remind me of someone I used to know," Kanye said quietly, a soft smile playing on his lips. "Someone who worked tirelessly, chasing a dream against all odds. And let me tell you, those dreams, they're worth fighting for both of you." Kanye placed a comforting hand on the chair beside him. "It's clear how much you care about him. That's what matters most." He hesitated for a moment before adding, "Would you mind singing that song again? You've got a beautiful voice." Marcus's face flushed with embarrassment. "Oh, I don't know about that." "Please," Kanye urged with a smile. "It would mean a lot to me." Reluctantly, Marcus began to sing. His voice trembled at first, but as he closed his eyes and let the lyrics flow, a quiet confidence emerged. The empty arena seemed to hold its breath, his unpolished melody echoing in the vast space. Kanye listened, his own lyrics taking on a new depth as they were sung back to him with such sincerity. When Marcus finished, Kanye clapped softly. "You've got a gift, Marcus. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise." Marcus chuckled, shaking his head. "I'm just a guy trying to make ends meet." "You're so much more than that," Kanye said firmly. "And I think Jared knows that too." Marcus watched as Kanye stood and offered a warm smile. "Thank you for sharing your story and your song with me." As Kanye walked away, Marcus felt a mixture of awe and gratitude. He had no idea that the simple moment he shared with Kanye would soon lead to something extraordinary. Back with his team, Kanye couldn't shake the image of Marcus singing his song, his voice carrying a raw emotion that resonated deeply. Marcus's story, his struggles, and his love for his son touched Kanye in a way he hadn't expected. He knew he had to do something. "Can we arrange something special for a custodian named Marcus?" Kanye asked his manager. His team, familiar with Kanye's spontaneous acts of kindness, immediately got to work. Kanye wanted this to be more than just tickets to his concert. He wanted to make a lasting impact. By the end of the day, Kanye had arranged for Marcus and his son Jared to have VIP tickets to his show, complete with backstage access. But he didn't stop there. Learning about Marcus's struggles to support Jared's education, Kanye contacted a local scholarship foundation to help provide for his schooling. For Kanye, it wasn't about recognition or publicity. It was about staying true to the values that defined him as an artist.